for those of you that have been living under a rock or don't really keep up with this, the brand new RTX 3090 Ti has finally released. It's only 2 months late, but it's finally here. It's unnecessarily overpriced, and it's at least the EVGA one comes with a E-lash, and I'm going to cut some other stuff out because I know there's children here. It does come with the E-lash.
It's a leash.
Huh?
It's a leash. It's a leash.
Yes. Okay, so they call it a E-lash, as in the letter E, then lash, but it's a leash. It's literally like a...
No, it's an E-leash, isn't it?
Is it E-leash?
I thought it was E-leash.
Okay, maybe it is E-leash, not a E-lash.
Because it's literally like a leash for like a
that
dog.
That actually makes a lot more sense than lash. Okay, so it is an E-leash. Sorry about that. What it does is like a little crane and pulley system to hold the end of your GPU to a radiator or the top of your case because it's so dang heavy. I actually have one here, physically, in person. I won't show you what's inside. You have to watch the video when that comes out. But I was...
What, you got a leash?
No, the box. I have the box. I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, you have a 3090 Ti on hand?
I got one on hand. I'm going to go get it right here in just a second. So let me just go over the differences real quick. So versus the 3090 vanilla or the 3090 poor people's edition, because it's $500 less, allegedly. Actually, let me talk on that real quick. The 3090 Ti is currently on EVGA's website right now for $2,000. While the 3090 non-Ti is selling for more than $2,000 all day on eBay. How does this make any sense whatsoever?
Yep. But I heard that the 3090 Ti was going to be LHR, so...
I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
I heard someone say that.
Look,
All right,
I said that.
continue.
I said that. I know. Okay, so let me just go over the differences real quick. Hold on here. Let me just write something down. What do we add? 0... 3090 Ti. Okay, yeah. So let me just go over the differences real quick, then I'll go into it. So here's the differences what $500 gets you. It gets you 2 more GPU clusters, some more CUDA cores, some more base clock, some more everything. Okay, it's just a little bump up on everything. What the differences are that the DDR6X modules are now 2 gigabyte modules, which means you don't need to put modules on both sides because, as we all know, it has 24 gigabytes of VRAM. So you might be going, TekShinji, why do I care about where the modules are? Let me explain this to you. So we actually have a video that goes into detail about a 3090 Founders Edition that we did a thermal pad video on because that card is so poorly cooled. Now the memory chips are on the side with the cooler. Okay, so they're actively cooled. Well, all of the chips rather, only half of them were originally. All of them are on the same side with the cooler. And it has been reported that the highest memory temperatures on this thing while gaming is 67 degrees Celsius. Which is insane because the regular Founders Edition was hitting temperatures as high as 95 and 110 Celsius on the memory. So one of the differences is it uses a 12-pin connector that is allegedly capable of up to 600 watts, and it comes with a squid that terminates from a 12-pin... Andrew, you're going to kill me. It's not the microfit. What's it called now? The NVIDIA...
It's actually a 16-pin, and it's the PCI Express Gen 5 power connector.
Okay, so it's different. It's the 16-pin PCI Express Gen 5 connector, and it terminates...
To be clear, just to be clear, the 12-pin microfit from the Founders Edition cards that we're familiar with somewhat, it's the same physical connector as the 16, but the 16, I guess, adds 4 sense pins, and I guess that's how it achieves a higher TDP officially. Just like, the 8-pin PCI Express adds 2 sense pins, but is rated for twice as much as the 6-pin was. Those sense pins are really just like a qualification.
Well, yeah, so they're adding more pins, and they're just 4 more sense pins, correct?
As far as I know, those are all sense pins.
Okay, so it's interesting how they...
Some form of communication to the PCB.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's also terminates 3 PCIe Express 8-pin connectors, which is a lot of power, that's for sure. Also, the PCB is different from the 3090 Ti. The cooler is also different. It's thicker, and like a lot thicker. It's like a whole slot and a half thicker. It's really thick. And all can be yours for the low price of $2,000. Which you might be going, TekShinji, $2,000? That's how much a regular 3090 goes for right now. And I go, yeah, that's why it doesn't make any sense. Why are people buying the old 3090 when the new 3090 is basically the same price?
Yeah, I mean, MSRP to MSRP, I feel like the For the Win 3s especially, like they didn't have that much of a price jump going from 3090 to Ti.
Not really, but this one has a bit of a price jump.
The Founders Edition, like, and a lot of the other cards, like $500 sounds like a lot of money, but I think with the For the Win 3s, it's closer to $200 or $300.
Yeah, so it's the Founders the EVGA For the Win 3 3090 is $1,919, right? $1,019. Sorry, 1,000. I can't do this.
I'll buy that half price. Yeah. $1,919.
Yes, what he said. Okay, it's $1,919. The 3090 Ti is a mere $81 more.
Well, it's not quite that simple because I think you're comparing the 3090 For the Win 3 Ultra,
Ultras,
to the 3090 Ti For the Win 3 Black.
Yeah.
So if you compare Ultra to Ultra, it's a little under
$275. Yeah, $281, right around there. Yeah. So it's actually not that big of a difference, relatively speaking. It's less than 10%. So.
And when you compare it to, like, let's say $2,000 as MSRP, you're not paying this huge AIB premium like you were with the 3090 cards when the Founders Edition was $1,500 and partner cards were like $2,000 plus.
Yeah, and that is very nice. I would say that we're not going to really talk about this tonight, but the tariffs from the previous administration has technically expired or been lifted for PCBs from China. So hopefully that reduces prices. Asus, I believe, has already announced a 25% price reduction or something similar to that.
I've seen Micro Center Asus cards. I think the 3060 Ti can be had for like $500, which not bad.
Yeah, I mean, $100 overpriced.
What you'd expect to pay.
Yeah.
Well, AIB cards are supposed to be more money, in my opinion. Whether or not they're better or not, but they add RGB. They're supposed to have potentially better coolers if you factory overclocks, stuff like that, that you expect to pay a slight premium for. 20% is a little bit more than a slight premium, but still, compared to the market we've seen the past year plus, $500 for a 3060 Ti, if you're just trying to play games, it's in stock.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, it's like not expensive anymore. The prices are finally coming down. Like, that's great. That's great for everyone, actually. While gas prices start going up. Nothing related there. All right, so let me just go into the final things on the 3090 Ti. So remember I was talking about power. So overall, the 3090 Ti versus the, poor people, peasants 3090, is a 8 to 12% increase overall in performance for an extra $500. But like Andrew was saying, if you're talking about AIB partner cards, it's only like $300 to $400 in difference. Another big thing, okay, up to 540 watts of draw on this thing. My Kingpin never even pulled that much, not even close. Like, we almost hit 500, but we still didn't go past it. This thing pulls 540 watts out of the box. I'm sorry, it hits 500 watts out of the box. That 40 watts is when you overclock it slightly, which is a lot. And as Andrew and I were talking about the power connector, they have now moved the power connector to the end of the card, which, in my opinion, it should have been that way a long time ago, because, what are you trying to hide in modern computer building, right? The cables, right? You want the cables to look nice and clean. So for the longest time, the cables for the GPU were right on top of the GPU, and you had to do like a 8-inch run no matter what you did. Now they're right on the end of the card, and you can cleanly route them away. Because you just want to see the nice GPU, man. You don't want to see everything. So I think it's pretty nice. I actually have one, and Andrew, if you want to give some thoughts on it, I'll go get the box. I won't open it yet, but I'll go get the box, so you guys can get an idea of how
it
big
reminds me of those EVGA PowerLink cable adapters that would plug into the 20 series cards that would have the power connector on the top or the side panel side, and it would effectively reroute them to be on the back side of the card at that point. I don't think those things actually really caught on, but they did exist. And I do think, I agree with Shinji that power connector on the, I guess you'd call it the front of the case side of the PCB does make a whole lot more sense. As far as I know, EVGA is the only one doing that with the power connector location. It seems like the reference design. Oh, and by the way, on the 3090 Ti, the Founders Edition and the reference design are the same. So AIBs using the reference design will have the same PCB as the Founders Edition with that V cut. And it is significantly similar and significantly different than the 3090 PCB.
Yes. So that kind of sucks because maybe the cooler won't work for it anymore.
It definitely won't unless they gave extra provisions, because there are, fairly large chokes and stuff that I'm sure were not milled out just because.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
like you'll see in the video when it comes out. I'm going to tease it. It's coming out soon, within the next 2 weeks, okay? You'll see a deep first look on the card, and you'll see what we're talking about, because there's parts that are missing, per se. So I'm just going to show you guys the box right now. By the way, this thing is really heavy. So I'm going to back up a little bit. That is the box.
Oh, what else is in there besides the graphics
Oh,
card?
there's like a
Oh, is that a 2-pack?
No, it's just like one look how thick this box is. Look, that's my hand, all right?
Oh, it must be a hybrid then.
Nope, this is not a hybrid.
What?
See, that's how big it is, boys and girls. So this right here, guys, is the biggest dang box I've ever. The hybrids aren't even this big. I actually have. I can't get it easily, but I do have a hybrid box, and it's not this big. I mean, look at it compared to my head.
That is a big box,
Yeah,
man.
and it's also really heavy.
That's the thing. It's like you're gonna need a premium case just with I just expect like those cheap cases that people will build. Like a lot of people will go with a cheap case because it's the thing they feel like they can compromise on without sacrificing performance. But they're gonna like have these cases that are gonna just bend over time.
Dude, this thing will just fall out of the case.
Yeah, I guess I'm curious. I do want to see your take on the E-leash and see if it's useful or if it's necessary.
Oh, I got something
or if it,
planned
like,
with the
stresses-
E-leash. I'm gonna do something funny with it. You'll see.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, actually, you'll know very soon because we're gonna talk to you about it later when we do the editing. But yeah, so that is a humongo box, and again, guys, I don't want to keep putting it out there, but a video on it will be coming soon. Of course, first day release videos have already gone, and I can't do that, not yet. But it's a humongo box. So the cooler alone on that card, just the copper cooler with all the heat pipes and everything, just that alone weighs over 3.5 pounds. Okay, just that alone. This thing is like, it's a 3.5 slot wide card. We're past the.
Why'd they stop there and not just make it a full?
That's
4?
what I said. I'm like, why not just make it 4 slots? How much more can it cost? Yeah, so no, that's. Oh yeah, guys, that is the For the Win 3 Ultra.
The thing.
See, Ultra right there. So that means it's the $200 extra premium one, supposedly.
Well, supposedly they binned all the dies, and the For the Win 3 Ultra has the highest. That's the highest For the Win 3, and has the highest factory overclock of the For the Win 3s. So that's not to say that you couldn't overclock the For the Win 3 Black, but that's also not to say that it could definitely achieve the same overclocks. So you might have like a golden sample there, essentially.
Yeah, so I know for a fact that that is exactly what Andrew is saying is correct. So the Ultra has a higher boost clock and base clock or something like that. It has a basically is like a pre-binned chip to be in like the top percentage. That's why they're charging that extra $200. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's basically in like the top 10% of all chips out there.
I think part of that is also somewhat related to efficiency, which is funny to say on a card that draws this much power. But no, but like to stay within the TDP spec, but also be able to hit these higher clocks, obviously you need a better chip that can do it. Otherwise, you're going to just end up pulling more power to hit those clocks.
Yes.
So to have that factory overclock and stay within factory TDP, you do need a better die.
Yes, 100%. So it's boost clock frequency at a certain power. Those are the two major qualifications that EVGA has actually said in the past. That's exactly what they're doing with these ultra gaming and black cards.